Shootout. Hey, I'm your host, formerly known as the Survivor of Pain, but from here on out, I would like to be known as simply the boss, Bill Blanchard. That's right, I retired my gimmick back in October 22nd of 2021. Survivor of Pain did get the opportunity to wrestle that day for other unfortunate reasons, and it's one of those things where I said, yay or nay, whatever happens, that was going to be it for me as far as doing what I'm doing. Not that I'm out of the business. I will still continue to do the podcast. I'm going to still continue to be involved in professional wrestling in some kind of way, shape, or form. But I just feel like it's time for a change. I'm looking forward to the future, tired of living backwards, and I'm going forward, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate all your support. I appreciate all your comments below. And let's have fun with this today. But right now, like I said, I'm the new host of this podcast. I am the boss, Bill Blanchard. And joining me, my co-host, I want to welcome him to the show, a former UCW and AWF heavyweight champion of the world and former tapefish champion of the world, my co-host, Christian Theory, Carl J. Garganis. Boss, welcome to the show.
Hey, boss, nice to be here. Congratulations on the name change. Pretty sure you'll go far with it. A new attitude, a new you. Let's get this ball rolling. And speaking of attitude, I've heard that people were not so happy with our last podcast.
Man, I tried to share the podcast we did. We're pretty much acknowledging CM Punk making his return to wrestling on AEW. I shared a lot of posts about when CM Punk the MMA video that they made where Punk was getting his butt kicked, and then, and I'm just not going to be jumping up or down who complained about couldn't get time off, or he playing somebody else get promoted, not him. Why is this guy getting his spot? Why am I getting my spot? Or am I putting over part-timers? And I get messages from so many different wrestling fan groups on Facebook saying, this is against our bullying policy. You are bullying CM Punk. You are bullying Mr. Brooks. Well, I'm not sure you're paying attention. We say nothing negative about Mr. Phil Brooks, the character of CM Punk. Wrestling fans are supposed to be like who they like, cheer who they like, and boo who they don't like. The characters that they portray in wrestling. Himself, he was miserable on the street. I put my head on it, okay? CM Punk is a great worker. He can work in the ring. I'm not going to say he didn't. I'm not trying to say he's not a draw. But I just don't respect that guy or how he thinks how it should go. I just don't. But hey, that's him. And how he does it, he's successful at it. You can't argue with success, man. But what would you think on this? We're bullying Mr. Punk here.
Well, I figured you would have to know somebody in order to bully somebody. It ain't like I'm physically around Phil Brooks. It's not like I'm physically calling Phil Brooks and telling him what a piece of shit he is, or calling him out because I want his lunch money because he owes me for this week's protection. I'm sitting here going, how the hell are we bullying him? Let's break it down another way. Right now I guess it's cool that we don't bully CM Punk, but we could bully John Cena fans. We could bully Roman Reigns fans, but we can't bully or you can't talk shit about CM Punk. I thought, wait a minute, this is pro wrestling. I can talk shit about whoever the hell I want to in a character standpoint. Why are you getting so defensive over CM Punk? Like, oh, he's God's gift to wrestling. Hey, man, hey, he's all right wrestler. Hey, he mimicked the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be in that match against Darby Allin. But I'm like, hey. To me, I thought that was hilarious. We were having fun with it, and that's what wrestling is supposed to be. It's supposed to be us fans being able to sit back, relax, have fun, regardless of who we might offend, because we're talking about the Golden Boy CM Punk. Hey, it's okay though. But it's okay. We can talk shit about Kurt Angle. We can talk shit about John Cena. We can talk shit about Roman Reigns. But we can't touch CM Punk.
Let's not forget about Brock Lesnar. Let's don't forget about Brock Lesnar. People love to talk smack about the Beast.
Oh yeah, part timer. Well, let me tell you what. He has to do his job part time because guys like CM Punk can't do their job full time.
Oh, he couldn't handle the pressure. He walked off and quit. You know.
So I took that. If anybody at home is paying attention, I took that line from John Cena when him and Roman Reigns were getting ready to lock horns, and they had that epic battle over the mics where John Cena point blank told him, it's called a promo, kid, learn how to do it. You know, where he said and told him that I have to do my job full time or part time because you can't do your job full time. So at the end of the day, hey, guys like Brock Lesnar, yeah, they're a draw, but in a sense, they're needed in the company because the guys that are there full time ain't cutting the mustard. They ain't pulling the ratings. Got to do something.
No.
I can't blame that on Brock Lesnar.
No, I don't blame Lesnar. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's a
If I
crazy
had the
time in a
deal
wrestling.
Brock Lesnar had, I'd be all right too. Hey, I wrestle about 3 or 4 times a year, make my money, and the rest of the time I'll be on my ranch up in Canada with Sable by my side, hunting and doing manly things, you know.
Yeah, what's not to love life about it, you know? I mean, hey, why hate on the guy? Because he made a success.
Hey, but
He
you know
doesn't
what?
have to
I'm
kill
not
himself.
hating on CM Punk because, hey, he's getting successful. He got reached out to by AEW. He got brought into the fold. He's having tag team matches with Sting and everything like that. So I'm like, okay, good for CM Punk. I'm just not there. You know, I'm more of a Sting fan. I'm going to cheer for Sting. And period. I don't care if he's a good guy, bad guy, neutral, whatever. I'm a Sting fan. But one of those things, hey, if you fans out there want to talk shit about Sting, hey, that's your opinion, you know? But I guess it's not okay to talk shit about Phil Brooks, CM Punk, which I don't remember talking shit about Phil Brooks. It was always CM Punk. And if
The
anybody had
character.
listened to that full context of the whole show, we actually gave the devil his due before we signed off. But hey, it's okay. We
I mean,
ruffle feathers. That's okay.
I think business-wise, I think Mr. Brooks did probably a smart decision. You know, yeah, well, you probably will with WWE, and you know, and let's face it, he left on bad terms. I mean, wasn't going to go the way he wanted to go, and then maybe Tony Khan's going to give him a chance to do what he wants to do. I mean, business-wise, I think he made a good decision. He's getting paid a good bit of money, and he's wrestling. You know, he's back in the business. I mean, a lot of fans happy to see CM Punk back. You know, but damn it, man, I'm not gonna shut up my opinions and the way the guy left the company. But for all you fans out there who claim he loves CM Punk, he abandoned all y'all. I mean, who would not want to see that match between CM Punk versus Triple H at WrestleMania? I personally wanted to see it. I was waiting to see what was going to happen. I was waiting to see if Punk was going to, bounce back and become a champion again. You know, I was waiting to see what I would love to see CM Punk and Daniel Bryan going after those belts. You know, or CM Punk and Randy Orton maybe have more matches for the title. You know, but Punk just could not get over. He wasn't going to get a main event spot. They're taking the belt off of him. He put over part timers. He complained about it. He wanted out. I mean, it is what it is. Look, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, and I get it. You know, there's a lot of BS, politic crap that goes on behind the scenes, and it probably doesn't make you sick about it. It doesn't make you frustrated, you know. So at the same time, my thing is,
Go
I agree
on,
with Kurt.
Cass.
I agree with what Kurt Angle said about CM Punk. So, at some day in your life, you're going to be in those part-timer positions. You would want someone, a younger talent, to take care of you like you're asked to take care of them. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like Darby Allin had to put over CM Punk. CM Punk's first pay-per-view show back. You know, you told me off the screen once you feel like Darby Allin should have won that match because he's on the rise. You know, but at the same time, CM Punk was a big name and everything, and then hell, he probably gave Darby Allin some CM Punk dust. You know, and they had a Hell Oasis match. I mean, granted, I think 1-2-3 Kid had should be remembered. He had a great match with Bret Hart. I mean, every little thing was going on, and yeah, it was very, very mirror images. You know, even from the facial expressions. I mean, good lord. I mean, I guess it's why CM Punk is the best in the world because he learned from the best who was, the best was, best who will be. You know, but dang. Well, I'm gonna go right now and say I formally apologize, not whoever I offended. And I'm not sorry because we should be allowed to express our feelings on the character, folks. Wrestling fans out there, the character. the gimmick. You like who you like, you boo who you don't like. That's what makes professional wrestling fun. Okay, the guy should be upset if he hurts his feelings, and not can be attacked the character, what he does in the ring, how he portrays his character, not what he does outside the ring as Phil Brooks. So, so Phil Brooks, if you're listening, which you're probably not, get you fine crats, and we rednecks have to stay here down south of Georgia for God's sakes. But look, man, we weren't trying to offend you. We weren't trying to offend any of those so-called Chicago wrestling fans up there. Just stating our opinions. And opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got them. Let's move on.
Everyone's got them.
Yeah, unless you got something else to say about it, boss man.
So I was about to say, you about gave me a mild heart attack when you were getting ready to apologize, and I'm sitting there going, apologize for what exactly?
God.
Woo! I about to say, you heard it here first, folks. Boss Bill Blanchard apologizing for stating his opinion because he hurt people's feelings. Okay, let's move on. We gave CM Punk enough shine in our shows and everything like that, so I guess we need to move forward. I think CM Punk's issue is good. We've cleared the air.
But yeah, let's move forward. But there's one more thing I want to add. You know, it doesn't live us CM Punk, but it's about hurting people's feelings and all this crap talk that's going on. Now, I know we're going to discuss the Hannibal situation, and we'll get to that in just a moment here. But I remember talking to you about Vince McMahon, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. How much has this man done for us? For everybody out there online talking smack about McMahon, how he, you know, the business is going out, yada, yada, yada. He's did this and done that. But what about the things McMahon did do for us? You know, they gave us rock and wrestling. They gave us great matches we all would love to see, from Hulk versus Andre at WrestleMania 3. You know what I'm saying? I mean, from Hogan and Savage to Hogan and the Warrior, Bret the Hitman Hart versus the British Bulldog, SummerSlam 92. What
SummerSlam.
Yeah, SummerSlam. What about Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon WrestleMania 10, 1994? Then let's talk about 1996 when Bret Hart resigned and came back to fight Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know, what about the Iron Man match that happened that year with the Heartbreak Kid versus the Hitman? And what about 1997 and how things are business really starting to pick up? He even gave us the most biggest controversial thing in the history of professional wrestling, the transition to sports entertainment, the Montreal Screwjob, which helped skyrocket the Austin era, Anti-Generation X, the Nation of Domination, the New Age Outlaws. I mean, this wonderful, great run of the Attitude Era brought us all the way to the ruthless aggression. Man, we should be on our knees thanking Vince McMahon every single day. McMahon gave us 30, 40 plus years of great entertainment. And this is not going to be. I'm going to turn it back to a man like this. I mean, there, Christian Beery. What do you think I'm trying to do right now?
You know, how can you hate a guy that gave us so much? We may not have liked the way that he done things. I mean, yeah, he screwed Bret Hart. But that also established Vince McMahon, the character. You know, if we, like you said, if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have had the Austin McMahon rivalry we would have had. You know, so much great things came out of that, even though it was a shitty, you know, however you look at it, it was a shitty situation. You know, well, I feel like, you know, we could have done things better, and I think we've already discussed that part. But anyway, but McMahon's gave so much. We got the WWE Network. We got pretty much that's on demand. We can watch whatever we want to, whenever we want to. All we have to do is pay $9.99 a month for it. You know, now it's on the Peacock Network. You're doing the same thing. So it's one of those that you're given so much. You got dream matches you didn't think were possible. You know, and it because of Vince McMahon and WWE, you had the rise of World Championship Wrestling. You had the rise, or you have the rise of AEW. You had the rise of TNA, Total Nonstop Action. You know, so I mean, it's one of those. However you want to look at it, if it wasn't for Vincent Kennedy McMahon that was doing what he does, we wouldn't have had the wrestling that we have today, regardless of how he did it to get there.
All right, I guess we'll move on to the next one. Here in recent last couple of weeks here, in the independent wrestling world, excuse me, This guy named Hannibal, and most wrestling fans are familiar with his YouTube channel, Hannibal TV, where he basically pays wrestlers and he interviews them. I guess the closest thing he's going to get to the business, I guess. And I'm not knocking the guy for his interviews in wrestling. I listened to quite a few of them. I especially enjoyed the Sid Vicious one. Even Jake the Snake was very good. You know, Tully Blanchard was actually very good. But this guy goes out there and wrestles as the blood hunter, mask gimmick or whatnot, and I'm pretty sure we all know what had happened. He got to wrestle in Texas against Carlito, and there was a spot where supposed to call for blood with a spike. Carlito's not going to bleed for this guy, so he wanted to do it to a referee because this guy had to get his gimmick over. You know what I'm saying? Now, something obviously went wrong in the match. The guy went bleeding where he's supposed to get bleeding. So this guy took it upon himself with a wooden spike, kept stabbing this guy repeatedly in the head. And according to reports, the guy actually hit an artery at some point. I mean, guy ended up in ICU, fighting for his life and anything. This guy Hamlin gets so damn pissed off, freaking gets his RV and freaking leaves. And, of course, according to him, he quit that promotion. The promotion fired him. And a lot of these promotions right now want to ban Hannibal for life because he took that situation way too far. And even one of our biggest mentors in professional wrestling, James E. Cornette, got in there and he gave his thoughts in the corner drive-through about Hannibal and see how much of a complete stupid netball this guy is. Most boringest piece of shit ever in wrestling. That's words from James C. Cornette, And it is what it is. All I'm going to say is I think you're a real piece of shit, Hannibal, because you sit there and think like you couldn't see through your mask, so just continue to do it. If you can't see what you're doing, then don't freaking do it. Bret the Hitman Hart, which I got mad respect for. Is anybody familiar with the Wrestling with Shadows? That's the first time I probably heard this in 1997 when Bret Hart says that wrestling is an art form, and the true art of wrestling is to be able to do it and not get hurt. You know what I'm saying? When this guy, obviously, we care more about getting his gimmick. He wanted to get his spot out there. He didn't get too far and crap what the referees will be. A fellow human being, for God's sakes. I mean, it's just supposed to be worked out in the back. We're supposed to talk this out there thing. Come up to plan how it's going to do it. And if it doesn't work, the hell, you bail from it. If you start to go there too far and you hurt somebody, then you're a real piece of shit, man. That's just how it is. You care more about getting over, you care more about your gimmick, and this man ends up in the hospital that night. Where it should have happened was everyone gets out there, you clean up the arena, high fives everyone. We had a really great show, all down to the next town. Well, this guy couldn't do that, man. I'm sorry, dude. That's just messed up, man. But that's my take on that.
Okay, so we get to the point to where him and Carlito, Carlito, made a name for himself, he, going around independence and being on WWE TV and all kinds of stuff, former United States champion in WWE. And this guy tells him the spot. Carlito, being the veteran, decides, nah, it's too risky. I'm not going to do the spot. You do not do the spot. Why are you going to bring a referee into it? Because, quote unquote, well, my character has bloodlust. Well, sometimes we don't always get what we want. Sometimes you got to at least, if you're putting on a show, at least look like you're making an attempt to go after and get your blood money, so to speak. And you just fall short, but it makes you that much more hungry to get it. Then you can be in more of a rage the next time you come out. There's always ways around it. But if, like you said, wrestling is an art form. Nobody's supposed to really truly get hurt. I mean, yeah, accidents do happen, but that was no accident. I couldn't see. Well, why did you do it in the first place? Why did you grab a referee and use your spike to draw blood instead of doing the right thing?
The referee did know about the spot. Referee agreed to bleed, but the point you realize you couldn't see, and the point you realize it's not working, then stop what you're doing. Now you're trying to hurt somebody. That's exactly. The whole point.
Stop what you're doing.
Now he starts really stabbing this guy because he wanted blood. He wanted a lot of blood. He was with blood. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So at the end of the day, that's not an art. You put the guy in intensive care. That was no art to that. There was no true, real reason behind it. That whole spot, as soon as Carlito said, no, you shouldn't even involve the referee. Because back in the day, if you were to attack the referee, Granted, I know it's storyline, but you would get fined, you'd possibly get suspended, or whatever else, because referee is supposed to be a protected position. They're an official, you know.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
you attack the ref. The ref's all right with the spot, but at what point do you go, hey man, I can't see, I'm not gonna. We're calling audible, can't do the spot. Do something,
Yeah,
roll out of the ring, keep me from getting to you too much, you know.
yeah,
Okay, cool. I can't safely see you. I don't know what I'm doing at this point because I want you to be safe. Because at the end of the day, we're all supposed to be, like you said, in the back, high fiving each other. All right, good show. You know, we'll try to do that spot. Hopefully, next time I'll be able to see and do what I'm doing. You know, so we can safely do the spot. You know. All right, cool. We move on to the next town or to the next show, whichever, you know, however things are working in his part of the woods. But at what point do you're stabbing and you're stabbing? At what point do you go, I can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just going to keep stabbing this guy because I can't see what I'm doing?
yeah.
You know, I listened to the TMZ. They caught up with the Miz and Maurice, and Miz pretty much said he should be banned from wrestling. And on something like that, I have to agree with the Miz. You know, there's no reason for what happened. There's no reason. You can't chalk that up that was an unfortunate accident. It wasn't like Hannibal slipped and busted the guy open, knocked him unconscious, and he got in intensive care because he just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time when he was swinging for the fences. All right, cool. Hey, you know what? I could take that as an accident, maybe. You know, but this, no. No, I don't take that as an accident. You can try to put your spin on, well, I couldn't really see, but that just further incriminates you, in my opinion. You couldn't see, then why do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're supposed to go home safe. At the end of the day, we're all supposed to be able to walk away from this show that we do. I mean, granted, yeah, we're going to get some bumps and bruises. It's wrestling. But there's no reason for somebody to end up in intensive care because you couldn't see what you were doing.
Yeah, man, it's just disgusting, man. What happens out to the wrestling business? What some people are determined to do to get their quote unquote gimmick over, even at the expense of somebody else, expense of someone's health. It's just putting somebody in the
Yeah, because
hospital.
it goes beyond their career. That's their life.
I mean, my question is, hey, Hamlet, are you gonna pay for his hospital bills? Probably not.
Are you gonna
You
pay for
gonna
this man's livelihood because he can't work now because he's on the shelf for a while because they had to go in and do probably a major surgery to keep this man alive? And chances are, with the independent promotions, this is not your primary job. You have a job outside of this that puts food on the table. This is something most guys independent do for a hobby. I'm just throwing that out there. You know, not everybody on the independent scene is trying to get to the next level. Some people are stepping down while other people are trying to step up, and some people saying, hey, I'm content with where I'm at. I'm on the indie scene. I'm wrestling. You know, I got business home. This is what I do for a release. This is not my career. You know?
Well, I mean, can you think of anything else in the 20 plus years you've been involved in, 22 years actually, that you've been involved in professional wrestling? Have you ever heard of a situation like this? Where a guy just took it upon himself, I'm going to do what I got to do to get over. I don't care about the damn guy. Let's do that. I mean, I know it's happened. But can you recall a particular situation on your end?
Not to that extent. You know, I've heard of people trying to quote unquote protect their spots. But hey, keep in mind, back in the 80s, hey, what was it? AWA was trying to pay Iron Sheik to break Hogan's leg. You know?
Well, possibly. Whether it's really true or not, she could just say maybe keep his job in WWE. We don't really know. That's just what the rumor is. But supposedly, yeah, Vern Gagne told Iron, because Hogan left him high and dry. McMahon bought up their TV times. They could show their freaking their matches, in certain parts of the country. You know what I'm saying? They took their guy who they've been selling to take on the AW champion. All of a sudden, Vince steals them. And you promise other these cities you're going to have Hulk versus Nick Bockwinkel. No, Hogan just went to the WWE and signed to fight the Iron Sheik. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Brett Gagne trained the Iron Sheik. If you have fight mess him, I'll pay you $100,000. Break this man's leg. You know, and the Sheik probably had that ability to do it. You know, I mean, it's a wrestling urban legend, whether it's true or not, I don't know. I mean, Greg Gagne, I think, denies it, the rumor. You know, but then again, I don't know. You know, you hear so much lies and BS. And it's really up to the fans and the marks out there. You believe what you want to believe. You know, I mean that's just like Bruno Sammartino. He says he told Nature Boy Buddy Rogers that right from the get go, the reason why the match ended so quickly, he put Rogers up in a bear hug and said, "Rogers, give it up, I'm gonna break your back." That he legitimately went out there to beat that man for real. You know, and then the other story is, no, I had a heart attack a week ago. I just want to get in and get out. Help if I couldn't do it. So I let Sammartino do it. Was it a work or was it a shoot? Again, another legend. Did Brent Gagne tell the Iron Sheik to break Hogan's leg doing that night, January 23rd, 1984? Maybe, maybe not. I love her.
Maybe the only ones that truly know is Vern Gagne and the Iron Sheik.
Iron Sheik, yeah. But yeah, the Iron Sheik
says that he was offered. Vern Gagne said he never did such thing, so
Greg Gagne. Yeah. I don't think Vern was allowed to be asked that question in public forum as far as YouTube videos, you know.
No.
And Greg did have a smirk and a smile on his face when he asked that question. It's a shoot interview called Back to the Territories, and Jim Cornette, I think, hosts it. And he interviewed Greg Gagne. Greg said a lot of stuff that Eric Bischoff said were all lies and false and stuff. And Greg just trying to get himself over in these shoot interviews. And according to Bischoff, a lot of these guys are doing it. They're just still being in character and saying what they're going to say to get the story over just so they can get paid. I mean, it is what it is. You believe what you want. You know? It just is what it is. I mean, I got to think of times in wrestling where it happened a few years ago to the point to where I wanted to go fight this guy for real myself. It was an independent show in North Carolina. You know, right at the get-go of this match, this guy says, "Hey, forget what we discussed in the back. You should start throwing real punches." You know, threw him out of the ring. The match was basically stopped. The guy went out there to try to hurt this guy. You know what I'm saying? And there's a time and a place for everything, man. That's not the time and the place to trying to ask where it can be. If you're in that freaking ring, when a fan pays for a ticket, they're there to see a show. You know, do what you got to do. Stay professional. If you got beef with somebody, you go into the back and you handle it in a properly manner. That's just my opinion, man.
But it's like when you put on, call it this way, you put on that uniform, whether it be, you know, your gimmick, you put on your gimmick, you're there for a show, you're at work. You know, handle personal beef on your own time.
Yeah. You know. But hey, you know, it is what it is. It is. But man, I think that's all the time we got for this particular show this week. You know, we'll be back next week. And, you know, hey, if I hadn't said it to you before beginning of the show, I'll say it to you now, man. Happy holidays to you. Hey,
yeah, happy holidays.
I'm pretty sure we'll be back before the year is out.
Oh, yeah.
All right, wrestling fans, until next time, so long for now. I'm the boss, Bill Blanchard, along with my co-host, Christian Fury. Y'all have a blessed week. We'll see you next time.